Greetings, Earthlings. This is Alex Youngblood. It's December 8th, 2024. My fifth year anniversary in LA is today, the 8th of December. 5 years ago, I moved to LA. Um, excuse me, I'm sick, y'all. I've been very sick for the past couple days. I recorded an episode last night as Zoom. It's not the Zoom link after the University of Georgia Bulldogs won the national championship. What am I talking about? Guys, I've tried to record this episode a couple times and I'm so out of it. It's like nearly impossible. Uh, but has now become like a personal goal of mine to do it regardless in the effort of whatever this podcast is as some sort of uh I don't know, effort at an accurate reflection of one's life. I actually don't feel nearly as sick in this moment as I did the past 72 hours, but I haven't slept the past couple few nights with this flu or whatever I have. Sweating profusely with like these fever sweats. So I'm just out of it in general. And I took this like flu and cold cough syrup or whatever, and it's got me additionally out of it. And so I had in my head, but I haven't done anything. I've just been lying around all weekend. I feel like I got hit by a truck, man. Like I can't move. So I do have this like internal energy to do something. So I want to do these podcasts and Zoom, and all I've done is lie here and watch football and foam roll. Uh, oh, perfect. Who is this? Please be. Is this Lenny? Somebody bail me out here. Whoever this, whoever this person, individual is, bail me out. Leonard, hopefully. Anyway, whoever it is, I'm gonna keep rambling. What was I talking about? Fuck, I was finally flowing. This is the problem with putting this shit on Zoom. It's like in the stream of thought, and then someone will come in, and then I'll totally forget what I was talking about. Anyway, I remember my general. I'm literally having to close my eyes to think. My general flow of thought was that I haven't slept, and I've been Hello, I see a video now. See? These haters, get out of here. Someone just came in, video, then it came off. My general flow of thought, I want to get this fucking podcast done despite the uh, m- uh, physical and mental challenges I'm currently experiencing with my health. Um, and I think it's an interesting experiment in trying to like to do something like this under the worst possible circumstances. But I was really excited that someone just logged in because then they could carry it. It'd be a lot easier if I could just like have a conversation with someone right now about football, some a topic that's like, not doesn't require a ton of cognitive energy, and then they could just carry it. Instead, I'm gonna have to sit here and try to ramble. But that's good. This is a good challenge, and it could go disastrally bad. I tried this a couple other times before this actual thing, this recording, like two or three times, and I couldn't talk. Like I could physically make sounds. I don't even know. I think I'm not mumbling, but I could physically make sounds, but like I wasn't coherently connecting one thought to the next or topic or yeah, my brain's not a well-oiled machine right now. I'm gonna plug in my phone 'cause it's about to die. Anyway, uh Seahawks win. Head coach Mike McDonald gets two victories over the dastardly Cardinals of Arizona. Uh, two victories in 1 month over Cardinals on the same week that he had his first child, Jack David McDonald, who I believe I talked about last night on the podcast. Did I mention? I don't know, dude. Anyway, uh, um, Seahawks won again. Seahawks won again. They're gelling. The team is really gelling. And everything's coming to fruition since this bye week, man. The defense is coming together. Dude, Mike, he's a very nice guy and like a good human, deeply good human. But bro, he's ruthless with these personnel decisions, man. He just fucking last week they had a couple fumbles from their kick returners. Both those dudes gone. the same thing with the two linebackers they brought in on relatively like two big name linebackers, Terrell Dodson and Jerome Baker. Brought those dudes in, like not even half a season. It's not working out. Gone. I love it. I think it's one of the many reasons he's going to be the greatest head coach of all time. Is that with these personnel decisions, he's like, fuck it, we're moving on. Like we're not wasting time. We only got 17 games to figure this shit out. So that new kick return, they're in there today. Not that that was by the most significant aspect of the game by any means, but uh, I found that very notable. And also, I found notable that at halftime, he used the word tripping. He said, "God, I took a video of it. I'm going to send it to him." What did he say? He said, uh, like our offense was tripping out there. Or something like that. He's like, the reporter, this is a stupid halftime interview. The news you don't get anything out of. The reporter asked him, like, Coach, what went wrong or something? Or I don't know, one of those standard questions. He's like, I don't know. But he's like, our offense was tripping out there towards the end of the second half or into the first half. I don't really like quote. I can't fucking think in general. Um, which I thought was hysterical. I was like, wait, did he say tripping like in the fucking colloquial, like ebonic sense, or is he saying tripping like did someone fall over? They like don't have good footwork or something. COVID, COVID 24, 25. Um, uh, I hope I feel better tomorrow. I hope I sleep tonight. But Seahawks win. That's all that matters in the world. And the Georgia Bulldogs are SC champions and number two in the nation. And yeah, I have a lot of thoughts. Let me just ramble real quick about college football. You know what the craziest thing is, though, guys, about all of this? Syria. Today or this weekend, Bashar al-Assad, the president, dictator, ruler of Syria, has finally been toppled. This was like the most significant player puzzle piece in the Arab Spring back in 2010, 2011, when Tunisia and Egypt and Libya and all these kind of hegemonic dictator type ships in the Middle East that had like tight controls on their uh populaces or, and in a lot of ways were uh like allies of Western nations such as our own, United States, because they kept a tight lid on terrorism and were good for business. Uh but like ultra oppressive and brutal, like and silencing dissent. And I guess if your country is constantly under attack by various terrorist militant groups, you got to be uh have a strong hand, obviously. But these dudes are fucking brutal. Gaddafi and Bashar al-Assad, and I can't think right now in Egypt. Fucking Tuesday with Egypt. I can't think. Um, um anyway. Anyway, this is like the most significant player of all with Syria, right? Syria is kind of the most, I don't know, most pivotal puzzle piece in the region. And Damascus and Syria is like relatively kind of like secular and liberal-ish for the region. So anyway, I haven't followed, dude, I don't follow the news since fucking all this, really, man. When I kind of went away from the constant daily pursuit of staying up to date of what's going on in the world, I found was ultimately detrimental to my psychological health and honestly, I think to my understanding of the world. Really, I think if you get obsessed with that shit and um, you can't help but kind of go down a narrative, and the more and more like intellectual like articles you read and research you do and shit like that, you kind of end up going down like an ideological bend, I feel like. And so it's like you can understand more by following less and trying to take a more broad perspective. Anyway, that's not a fully fleshed out thought. And it's the wrong time for me to say it. But anyway, I've been following what's fucking going down in Syria over the last, like, very peripherally, right? I knew Assad was still in power. It's kind of crazy, right? I knew, through the Obama administration, I knew he had issues. Had issues. It's not good enough to himself in international relations. Anyway, fucking Assad is out today. I don't know what exactly happened. I watched some videos. Didn't seem like a violent coup, right? It wasn't like fucking Gaddafi where they're dragging this motherfucker through the streets, like sodomizing him with fucking like iron poles and shit. It wasn't some like brutal, bloody coup from what I saw. So I don't know exactly how that got done. Like I guess he brokered a exit with militant groups, and I guess uh yeah, he's lost backing of Iran and Russia. And gotta think, yeah, and no small part something to do with Trump getting elected, and Russia and Iran thinking that Trump's probably about to get a little wild out there and stop fucking around. Probably about to team up with Israel and do some wild shit out there, establish a strong foothold, strong alliance between US and Israel in the Middle East. So yeah, it seems like they're letting Syria peace. And Iran, I guess, has got to hunker down and focus on Palestine and Israel, and Russia's going to focus on Ukraine. So, peace, Syria, which is, once again, like my naivete when I initially was following the shit, I was like, yeah, overthrow these fucking dictators, um, their oppressive, brutal, deadly authoritarianism. But these power vacuums are just fucking breeding grounds for terrorism and sectarian violence. And yeah, that'll be interesting to see, man. As I've kind of said throughout this, like I'm not really a passionate sports guy anymore. The whole reason I've been doing this Legion of Zoom thing, which I feel is long done, which has increasingly just become me rambling into my phone by myself, uh, is because I just want to celebrate like a child what a what a childhood friend of mine has accomplished, reaching like the definition of like childhood dream success. Literally. I think it's so cool. And it unites me and my friends over stuff that, well, I'm not as passionate about sports as I used to be, although fuck, man, I've watched a fuck ton of sports all season now. Uh, truly long term, I want to like talk about and research and dedicate my time to. Yeah, that's just hearing, excuse me, international affairs and shit like that. But I do want to get into politics at some point. But yeah, so I guess so. Yeah, I do want to re-engage with learning about the world and current events, just in a less obsessive and ideological way. I need to fully, more fully develop myself as a man and a human being and a spiritual being before I can take on the challenges of the planet. I can probably take on the challenges of my little guest house here and my snotty little nose, big nose. Uh, so yeah, but eventually I'll go fill that power vacuum in Syria. I'll be a great Syrian dictator. Mike McDonald would be a great Syrian dictator. Fuck, man, it's just in the Seahawks over there to fucking rule Syria. Just have Mike just take over Syria and the Seahawks. Like each member of the Seahawks can just be like a little warlord. Each have their own little chiefdom. Be the most magical place on earth. Oh. What am I talking about? I feel obligated to leave this Zoom link up for an hour because I always, when I first started doing this Legion of Zoom stuff, I would program it. I'd be like, okay, Friday night at 6 p.m., let's do LOZ. And now I'm just like, and this will become busier, I think, especially with jujitsu. And like me doing these things is incumbent upon me watching the games, you know? Like shit I have to consume. I'm not sure when I'm gonna have the time to watch the games and stuff. I don't like watching them live. I do not like watching sports or anything like that. Like sitting down watching a, sc- a screen during the daytime. Um, when the sun's out. Although that's all I did this fucking weekend because I was sick, which is ugh, I hate it. Um, but now I just like send out the link like now. Oh, like okay, I'm hopping on Zoom. Hope one of 15 fucking people can hop on Zoom right now. You know, kind of ridiculous thing to ask. But anyway, I don't know what I was talking about. Syria, Zoom. What am I talking about? Oh, but now I feel like last night I did that and I stayed on for like 20, 30 minutes, you know? So it's not like people do try to hop on or they'll be like, oh, I clicked on it, but like you weren't there anymore. So I want to keep this thing open for like an hour. To give somebody a chance to hop on. And I actually really want Lady to hop on here. So I talk about fucking Syria with this guy. Because he's got some thoughts on Israel and all that shit. Um, the Seahawks gonna win the fucking division. Seahawks gonna win the NFC West. This dude, Coach Mike, is the man. It really is the truth. He's gonna be the greatest coach of all time. He's gonna win a Super Bowl sooner rather than later. And he's a real dude. He's just a real fucking dude. You know, super smart, real guy. Super smart, disciplined. Uh, and I'm increasingly finding, man, especially watching so much football this past several months. Dude, God, maybe I just wasn't paying attention to this growing up, or like maybe there's a lull, but like I feel like God and Jesus are like making a hard comeback. It was like kind of my whole perspective on religion was like it's kind of like Santa Claus, right? It's like something you believe in when you're younger and then you grow out of. And so that's kind of the path an individual takes with their religiosity, right? Like you're more apt to believe in like religious storytelling or whatever, be religious, let's say, when you're younger, and less so as you get older, and then maybe you return to it like when you approach death. And then maybe humanity, I would think humanity does the same thing. Like we would be much more apt to be a super religious people, be it mythological or um um nature fucking religion, pagan, uh or Christian or any of the modern Judeo-Christian religions. But like as we enter in modern times, we become less and less religious of a people on earth. I feel like at least in this country, like we're going back to like more religious. So it's kind of cool. I mean, I find it interesting. I think I'm gonna get it. Like religious people, I've always felt, and I was actually raised kind of religious. I was raised Baha'i. My mom was a member of the Baha'i faith, which like believes in the unity of all religions, and but doesn't have like a formal clergy or anything like that. Uh, they would just have like prayer groups and stuff at people's houses where they would just like read prayers from books and eat dinner. That was it. And then like they would have like business meetings about like I don't know what the business meetings, but it was like about like or I don't know, organizing. I don't know what they spent so much time fucking talking about. My mom used to belong to LSA, which was local spiritual assembly, I think it was. So like the Baha'i faith would have an internal governance structure. Like I don't know what they're governing. Uh, um, what was I talking about? Oh, religion. Yeah, I feel like religion's coming back, man. Like these football guys, man, are like super faith-based, and it's very admirable. I'm not trying to take any religious or pro. any religion or anything like that, but I think it's super admirable to be a faith-based human being, to have faith in a power higher than yourself. I think it's super admirable, and I think it produces like great dividends in your life. I think it also can hold you back in some ways, but I think in the net, dude, it's a good thing, bro. I kind of wish I was like a hardcore believer. I'm going to get back into it though. Once again, like talking about where I want this podcast to go in my life and what I spend my time doing aside from martial arts, fucking watching football right now, is I want to get into reading all these religious texts. Once again, like I said, hopefully I've said this before in the podcast. Starting right here, like you see in this wall right here, this calendar. This is the cosmic calendar. Can always see I know it's dim in here. That's like all of history, the history of existence of the universe compacted into 1 year on a calendar, right? And so humanity would just be in the final minute of the final hour of the final day, New Year's Eve. Whereas all of the other 12 months, 31 days, and 23 hours and 59 minutes, human beings didn't even exist. So it's crazy to kind of put us in that perspective. So I want to get more into that. But then so much crazy shit has happened in that final minute of the cosmic calendar, right? The entire story of humanity, and we don't know about all of it, right? You know, we're learning as we go. That's the kind of shit I want to get into. It's on advertisement here in my neighborhood in LA, a billboard that the Dead Sea Scrolls are going to be at the Ronald Reagan Library here in LA. Dead Sea Scrolls are like, what I understand, like the earliest known version of the Bible. I think the Old Testament. I think they predate Christ, the Dead Sea Scrolls. I think. And I don't know if they're gonna have the actual scrolls here in fucking LA, dude. Like, they're just flying those months. They found the Dead Sea Scrolls in I think it's called like the Qumran caves in uh Israel, I believe. Um are they flying those motherfuckers around the world and taking them on tour and shit like they're Taylor Swift? Come on, man. Let's lock that shit down in a vault and Tel Aviv. No, actually not there. It's fucking Sweden, somewhere safe. Uh Looking at my world map right now. Where do you put the Dead Sea Scrolls? Somewhere fucking safe on top of Mount Everest or something. Uh is top of Mount Everest safe? Probably fucking not. Like the least safe place ever. What are you talking about? Flooding though is the problem because of fading. I say top of Mount Everest because of flooding. I've never read the Dead Sea Scrolls. Obviously, they're written in fucking Hebrew and Aramaic and shit, but nor have I read the Bible for that matter. But I know all these major religions have flood, quote unquote, myths of the earth being ravaged by floods at the end of days, apocalyptic type scenarios. That's why I mentioned Mount Everest to prevent the flood waters from rising. But those flood myths are from asteroidal impacts. You can start following the work of Randall Carlson, Graham Hancock, Robert Schock, John Anthony West, some younger dude, Jimmy something. Anyway, once again, more shit I want to get into that there's a lot of evidence that the Earth has been repeatedly struck by meteors, asteroids, I don't know the difference, space rocks, um, and has like caused essentially a near obliteration of humanity on a bunch of different occasions, from what I understand, and that in fact that would perhaps the story of what we know about humanity is not the timeline, or the our story is not as Graham Hancock puts it, we're a species with amnesia. Like we don't know our true story because our story as a species has been wiped out by asteroidal impacts or cataclysmic events here on Earth. That's like Noah and the flood. These tales from these religious texts, like warning of these great floods and disasters that befall the earth. Because it's true. Because it get hit by fucking asteroids. So anyway, that's more shit I want to get into researching and talking about on this, and then eventually traveling around the whole world, um, talking to people who know about like the history, the story of the universe, and then really world travel would be more coincided with the history of humanity, and kind of piggyback on the work of these dudes I just mentioned, these heroes, Randall Carlson, Graham Hancock, Jonathan West, Robert Schoch, uh, these true modern day heroes that are kind of going out on a limb and questioning the mainstream science and mainstream anthropology and mainstream history of our species. Sorry, I'm staring off of these maps as I'm talking. Yeah, kind of piggybacking their work and travel on the world and uh, kind of document and experience the history of humanity myself. I think it'd be super badass thing to do. If Mike McDonald can be head coach of the Seattle Seahawks, some 9-year-old kid I met at the local rec center and used to play fantasy football with in the 90s when we were keeping score on the box score in the newspaper. I could do some sort of like YouTube podcasty travel around the world, study humanity, question the narrative, find the truth, story of the universe, history of the world thing, right? That sounds badass, man. Um, so yeah, go Seahawks, go Georgia Bulldogs. Long live Syria. God bless Syria. Hopefully that shit works out a new way. I don't want to say that. Like, dude, that is a power vacuum that is has potential disaster written all over it, but hopefully not. I don't God bless Mike McDonald's new child, Jack David McDonald. God bless Jack Bluestein, Lenny's Jack, and my future Jack. I think that's it. I'll hop up on LOZ. Oh, shit, I'm traveling this weekend to Chicago to visit my sister and her children. Seahawks, I don't know the Seahawks play, but I'm sure obviously they have a game. But normally college football and shit. But yeah, I'll record a podcast this upcoming week. This is week 14. I'm Alex Youngblood. I am not gonna die tonight. I will be better tomorrow, and even better the next day, and the day after that, even better, and then continue that progress as a human. And hopefully we can all do the same. As humanity, we can do the same. And you universelings, all living creatures in this universe, or all whatever, anyway, entities, forces. Let's be our best selves, y'all. Peace.